It is probably not the version of Chicago that many are used to seeing. The show South Side focuses more on the characters in the city, even filling its cast with people who call the city home. Its creative characters are somehow relatable and have relatable scenarios. It is now returning for a third season on HBO Max. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi caught up with the show's creators and stars.
Bashir, Diallo, thank you so much for joining us. I really want to talk about Southside because you guys had me cracking up. Can you tell me a little bit about what was the inspiration behind the storyline?
I think we just wanted to show the lighter side of Chicago. You know, that's a city where the minute you step off an airplane at O'Hare, they got jokes for you. You know, they want to know why you wore those shoes today. And so you don't really see that specifically with the South Side. Usually with Chicago comedy, you think the North Side, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the Blues Brothers. We thought, let's show the South Side some love. No car would stand a chance against this thing. Chicago, get it together.
The title of the show is Southside because we really wanted the community to shine as a character. And whether it's Officer Turner and her particular vernacular choices, or Q, who's one of the twins on the show, he's the one who manages the rent-to-own location. You know, we really wanted it to feel authentic.
One of your fellow co-workers has put all our lives at risk.
You're the one harboring a fugitive. We could be going to jail. Let me tell you something. I visit jail. I don't go there. I'm out.
The violence in the South Side is usually showcased and focused on, but you guys are showing the human element of it and using comedy to show that. What was the idea behind that?
I think we just wanted to let Chicago, and specifically the South Side, to let it speak for itself. You know, often when folks, you ask them who the funniest person in their life is, they'll say, oh, it's this comedian. But when you really dig deep, it's like, oh, no, my auntie, my cousin, my boy from high school is funnier than everybody you know. And so we thought, you know, what better way to let Chicago kind of speak for itself than to use those very people.
And I feel like, you know, when you talk to people from Chicago, and specifically from the South Side, they love the South Side. They can't, nobody's like, oh, I love going home, man, so much violence. Like, that's not what they say. They're like, yo, I love this guy always makes me laugh.
Yeah, here's a really quick example of that. I was at my mom's house and I was craving a snow cone, as you know, adults do sometimes. She said, oh, there's a guy up on 80th and Vincennes that makes the best snow cone. So I went up there. He made me laugh from start to finish. And he is now in our trailer for season 3 because we love doing stuff like that. He's just a funny person who's actually from Chicago.
Snow cone man is here.
Let me get an apricot.
Nobody in the drinks this apricot.
Okay.
I don't even know how you seen that. I had it in the back.
And what really jumped out to me, too, is that you're just following people just trying to improve their lives.
I think our characters' backstories are really consistent with the folks on the South Side, and that they're diverse. We have everybody from scientists to teachers to some guys who dabble in a little, you know, crazy illegality, to cops to, you know, people who just have blue-collar jobs just trying to make ends meet. Despite anybody's past, our characters kind of move forward and make the best of tomorrow.
You mentioned a little bit about the characters, but I want to talk about the characters that you two play.
Oh, great.
Sure, if you want to start with Officer Goodnight. Tell me what was the inspiration? And
you know what's crazy? A lot of people have asked me, like, what are you trying to say with Officer Goodnight? And I'm always like, nothing. It's like, we didn't do any research. We didn't do any ride-alongs. I was like, well, I want to play that character. I'm going to come over there, and then you're going to get out the car, okay? Okay. I played a character named Officer Goodnight in a short film that I wrote years ago, and it was so much funny for me to play generic jerk cop that when it came time for our show to find who's going to be the cops in the show, because we have to have them, they're in the world, I was like, I got an idea. And I thought my guy kind of came fully formed, and I love the character my wife plays. Chandra Russell plays a character who's very different from mine. She's very street savvy, she kind of makes up her own rules, and she's really become a fan favorite.
And I think for Alderman Gale, I mean, look, Chicago politics is like something that we couldn't ignore if you do a show in Chicago.
Waylon and I were just discussing the urgent need for more black-owned businesses right here on the South Side.
This ain't the South Side.
This ain't a black-owned business, unless, no, he ain't just light-skinned.
No, that is a white man. Yeah.
I think he's more about title and trying to have fun. You know, he has the job of alderman now. You don't get the sense that he like relishes in solving, you know, the issues like small things like a pothole, or like, oh God, I gotta work on that pothole initiative. Like, you know, he's very sort of transparent in his ambition.
I wanted to also talk about your IFC award-winning series, the variety show.
Oh, come on now.
Sherman's Showcase. It talks about the variety shows that a lot of us grew up on. What was the idea behind it, and What did you guys want to showcase?
What I would say is that, between Diallo, me, and our other executive producer, Matt Piedmont, he worked at Saturday Night Live. Diallo and I worked for Jimmy Fallon. Collectively, we're looking at probably 20, 30 years of sketch comedy. When it came time to do our own sketch comedy show, we thought to ourselves, we have to do something different.
Can we hurry up? They want me to play Butler number 5 on Veronica's Closet.
Okay, you're literally the star of this show, though.
Right, I hear you. What's that for?
That's the charity thing, pool time with Cisco. Get in the pool with Cisco, you talk about starving children.
Charity. Ugh.
I remember watching an episode of Documentary Now.
Yeah.
And it was about the Talking Heads documentary. I was just like, what if we did a show like this, but it was all about like the history of black music? I think the great thing about that show is it's so inventive. It can kind of do anything. So if we have a movie idea, we'll do the trailer for the movie. If we have a song idea, we get to write the song with like some great musical collaborators.
I was just going to say, between you two, I'm sure there's so many ideas flowing.
Every day.
Tons.
What other
Tons.
projects are you guys working on?
Oh boy.
So many. Right now,
The list goes
the thing
on.
I'm most excited about is right now we're actually developing a sitcom starring Diallo. And so this is kind of like, for those who are familiar with the show Newhart, which is about a therapist, we're developing a show where this guy would play a therapist. And we know that in our communities, mental health is something that is quite necessary, but often disregarded.
And we're also developing a show with Marlon Wayans. So we're working on that show right now, and it'll be yet another take on Marlon's real life, and we're really excited to hopefully show that to you.
I love that you guys draw from your own personal experiences. I think
We don't look too far.
Yeah,
No, no, no.
exactly.
Mona Kosar Abdi, thank you so much. And season 3 of Southside has already started. New episodes come out Thursdays on HBO Max.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.